Auzubillahiminashaitanirrajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. क्लास 10 स्टूडेंट्स ऑफ बॉयज़ हाई स्कूल बदरहट, आज 14 अगस्त 2019 हम एक बार फिर अपना सब्जेक्ट यानी साइंस पढ़ने जा रहे हैं। क्योंकि आजकल जो हमारा चैप्टर चल रहा है वो है चैप्टर नंबर 5, पीरियोडिक क्लासिफिकेशन ऑफ एलिमेंट्स। We have learned something about the classification of the elements in earlier classes. Now, today our topic is Mendelev's periodic table, and in this regard, I want to recall you about the classification of the elements. First of all, there came a chemist known as Lavoisier in 1800. At that time, only 30 elements were known, and he grouped the elements into metals and non-metals. He tried hard to group the elements into these two categories, that is metals and non-metals, but later on he did not know about the metalloids, and so his classification of the elements failed. Next, there came one more chemist, that is Dobener, in 1817. He tried to classify the elements at that time, and he made 3 triads of the elements. In these triads, there were 3 elements in each triad, and the arithmetic mean of the first and last member of the triad was the atomic mass of the middle member of the triad. But rest elements he could not put into triads, so this classification of the elements also failed. After that, one more chemist, that is Newland, came in 1866, and at that time there were 56 elements. He tried to arrange the elements in increasing number of atomic masses. He made 7 classes of the elements, and find that after every 7th member, the 8th member of the elements had the same properties of the first element. But his classification was applicable only up to element calcium. After that, he could not further move ahead. And next, one more chemist, Russian chemist, came in 1869, known as Mendelev, which is our topic today. He made remarkable contribution in arranging elements. He arranged the elements in periodic table. He made periodic table of the elements. At that time, 63 elements were known. He studied the chemical properties of elements and found that if the elements are arranged in order of their increasing atomic masses, properties are replaced after a regular interval. This was his basis of the classification of the elements. Based on this, Mendeleev gave a periodic law. He stated in his law, the physical and chemical properties of the elements are periodic functions of their atomic masses. Mendeleev considered the formulae of hydrides and oxides formed by an element with hydrogen and oxygen respectively as one of the basic properties of the elements for its classification. So, he selected hydrogen and oxygen because these are found very reactive and form compounds with most of the elements. Mendeleev arranged the elements in 8 vertical columns called groups and 7 horizontal rows called periods. Each group was subdivided into subgroups A and B. Group 8 consists of 9 elements in 3 rows, each having 3 elements. The elements with similar properties belong to same group in this Mendelev's periodic table. Mendeleev left gaps also in the periodic table. Why? For the undiscovered elements which could fit in those gaps. There may be some elements, if he considered that there may be some elements that will fit in the gaps. Also, he predicted the properties of the undiscovered elements like gallium, germanium, Eka aluminium, Eka silicon, and which was found accurate later on after the discovery of these elements. He tried hard to classify the elements in his periodic table into groups and periods, but there were many limitations also in the periodic table of the Mendelev, which were corrected in next periodic table known as the modern periodic table by one more chemist, that is mostly in 1913. Hope we will learn about this modern periodic table, which is nowadays accepted as accurate, and we will try to know about it in next class. Thanks.